E aí, gente, estou aqui com o Rohit Bhargava. E a gente estava aqui conversando no táxi, vindo para cá para um almoço, que é sobre o nosso about the power of radical reimagination. So actually one of his first slides on South by Southwest was that we're living on a crisis of imagination. And I actually felt so familiarized because it's exactly what we say on like the beginning of every speech. But I wanted to know what's your intake on how can we actually fight a crisis of imagination?
Well, the starting point, I think, is what you did here, what we just did, and what people did at South by Southwest, which is listen to new ideas and be in a place where you get those sorts of ideas and you have the chance to hear them. Because a lot of people never get the chance to do that. They're just stuck doing the same thing over and over. They don't go to any events. They don't choose to consume any new information. And so it's really hard to have imagination if you're reading the same thing all the time and never really breaking out of that.
About repertoire, right? Like to be able
Yeah,
to like
that's right.
and make new connections in some level, right? Like how do you
Yeah.
make those connections?
Yeah, part of it is choosing to go. So choosing to show up. You get
Yes.
invited to something, you show up and you go,
Yeah.
right? That's the first part. And the second part is asking questions from people. We had a fascinating group here. We had an amazing lunch, and everybody was from a different industry. And I learned a lot by asking people about their industry in a different country that I don't live in, and how their industry works and what's important to them.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I asked is not because I was trying to do something necessarily with it, I was just interested. And I think that's where it starts. And the reason why I can have a lot of new ideas and why I can stand on stage and talk about imagination is because of this. It's because I go to things like this all the time and I choose to ask those questions all the time so that when it becomes time for me to come up with something new, I have a lot of information to be able to do that.
Right. It's all about choices as well. We always say that it's not about the radical reimagination. It's about opening spaces because that comes, right?
Yeah.
Like if you open spaces in your life, in your mind, then like all those other connections can come.
Yeah, I think that maybe start with average reimagination and then go to radical reimagination. Maybe that's the way to do it, right? Because at least start reimagining things.
Yes.
Even if it's on a small scale, then go to the big scale.